Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using The Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. There is a companion book by Barbara Moore. Even though I don't use it, in case that's something you value, I just wanted to make sure you knew it was there, especially because it's right on the cover anyway. There's a website, llewellyn.com. This is from 2004, but they might have stuff still, or if you like the creators, you probably could find something by them. Supportive Oracle cards, You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website for them, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, U as an umbrella. Whew. And now that we've done that. Okay, what do we have? Like, we're already floating forward. What's going on with Sagittarius? It's interesting because every sign has its up and down. Every sign has good attributes and attributes that maybe don't work to their advantage. It's usually the same energy. It's just which direction it's taking you. And I feel like with Sagittarius, you guys keep moving and you get a lot done. The thing is, when you get involved in too many things or people drag you into too many things, that it just wipes you out. And I feel like I'm already moving. I almost feel like somebody like picked me up or like pulled my arm, and I'm already like outside, like getting on my way to work, getting this, getting that. I just feel like I'm already like somebody's pulling me forward, and I'm just kind of like, oh, wow, like can I have a minute to breathe? And they're like, no, and you just keep going. Yeah, but I need a nope, and they keep pulling you. I feel like somebody's pulling me forward, and I'm like, listen, yes, I'm very good at keeping my energy going, but on my terms, not on your terms. Somebody is pulling you forward. I feel like somebody's pulling you forward, and it's like Sagittarius tends to be very active, but like when somebody else is dragging you forward, like still, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. No, I mean, you have to have control. You have to be the one in control of your energy. You can't just let somebody else dictate what you're going to do and when you're going to stop and when you're not. It's like, I feel like this is how this feels to me. Like, somebody's not only dictating what time I'm going to get up, they're like pulling me out of bed. They're pushing me in the shower. They're saying, eat this. Then they're like, all right, you're done, great. And then they're taking me and they're putting me in the car and they're like, do this while we're driving and do that. And then they're like, okay, it's time for a break. Eat that. Okay, you're done with your break. Give me that. And like, I feel like they're very like controlling to that part. Like, I'm constantly moving. I'm constantly doing things that I feel like I need to do anyway. But I feel like the power is being taken away from me and I'm being micromanaged and pushed and like, I feel like I'm very subservient to something and I hate it. I hate it. I feel like I hate it. Like, this is not good. Something is too much. Something is way too much. Now, the thing is, whatever you're working with, there is benefit to it. I'm not going to say there's not. I just feel like it's overwhelming and it's too expectant. It's like, it's just thinking this is going to work for you. It's not really paying attention to how this is actually affecting you. And I feel like I have to start pushing this back in my control. I have to get a little bit more, like I have to hold the line. You got to be a little bit more selfish. This is one of those times where you're like, all right, listen. I feel like we might even have to be like, all right, listen. And then when the break comes, I'm like, all right. They put like a donut and a coffee in front of me or whatever. I'm like, no, stop, listen to me. And I feel like you might have to get that strong with it. Kind of like, listen, get off me. Give me the tasks and get away from me. Because I can't do this anymore. I feel like I'm getting that upset. I don't mean to, but I feel like some of you might that might be what happens. Either you're heading for that or that may be what happens anyway. Because somebody's pushing too hard, too much. They're asking too much. And I feel like especially with Sagittarius, you can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, when people push too far, you may snap at somebody and not realize till after that you did. Because it's just kind of like you going, and then you say what you need to say, and then all of a sudden things change, and you're like, oh, yeah, I told them to go pound salt. Whoops. Let me know in the comments, though, because I feel like Sagittarius, once in a while, you just stand up for yourself, and then you realize you stood up for yourself, and you're like, oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. It's kind of like you look back and like, okay, I probably didn't need to be that descriptive with that, but, I mean, I just feel like maybe, let me know in the comments, because I feel like this situation is headed for a rude awakening. I feel like for those of you caught in this situation, if this is already hitting, it's kind of like you have a choice to slow it down on your terms or hit that breaking point, and it won't be as pretty and it may have repercussions afterwards. Kind of like, I'm not a Sagittarius, I'm a Pisces, but I do have a bit of fire in my chart. I just for my own life, I worked for somebody who was not. I had a manager that wasn't very good at it. Let's just put it that way. And I'm a person like, I try to work with what I'm dealing with. I had a manager that I would send things to, and I remember like trying to get my emails as just short and sweet as possible. And I started realizing this person wasn't reading my emails, but then I realized they really weren't reading anybody else's emails anyway. Like it was quite obvious. There's a person that really shouldn't have been in that position, but that's a whole nother story. And I should have dealt with it in a different way. But what happened was one day, we were in a meeting, and there was a lot of people around, and they said something. And I kind of blew up. And I was like, well, I've sent this email, that person sent this email, we sent this email, and you're clearly not doing your job. And I just blew up on them. I don't think I swore, but I made my point, and then I ended up in HR over it. I'm just saying. I didn't end up in the HR because I was wrong. I ended up in HR because I was wrong the way I did it. So, and I'm just saying, I feel like this is similar. Like you might hit that breaking point where, you may not be wrong for saying something, but it may hit that boiling point where it may not come off the best way, and it may give you some unwanted unwanted reactions that you might have to deal with in the long term. I think that's what we're dealing with here. Because there's a change coming up, and a lot of people seem to agree with what's going on here in the sense of like the way that this is being handled is not right. But I'm getting like this energy of like, you're getting way overstressed about it. And it's kind of like you got to hold the line here. This is the Nine of Wands. It's holding the line. This is the Four of Pentacles. You got to hold to it and make somebody listen to you. That's going to happen either way. But the Wheel of Fortune is basically saying it's up to you how it plays out. It can go well. It can go not so well. Because I'm getting like, there's a lot of good in this situation, but it's overdone. It's overdone. This has to go more in your control. We have to get back to this Ten of Cups energy, and you standing up for yourself before it hits that boiling point. I feel like the Ten of Cups shows up a lot easier. Otherwise, if it goes the way it's going to go, that Ten of Cups may show up, but it may be a couple months, 5 months, 5-6 months before you see it. It may be a few months to let the dust settle and things cool down before you actually get back to this good moment. Like, would you rather be happy in the next month or so, or in the next 5 or 6 months? Like, do you want to drag through this the next 5 or 6 months? Judgment is going against somebody else. You're not the only one going through this. So judgment is going against this person either way. It also might be more to your benefit to tell this person now before somebody else does. There might be bigger repercussions for them. You may look back and be like, oh, I wish I'd said something. I probably could have helped them before the tower fell on them, because the tower is going to fall on them. And it's like, it's fair judgment. It's kind of like judgment against them, the way it's coming in, but it's fair. You could make this easier. You could kind of like, you know what, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to give them the chance to not have this big calamity. Because they just seem to be going too fast. I don't see them also, I don't want to pretend like they're going to be like, oh, thank you, Sagittarius, for telling me I'm being a dork. I don't see that happening either. But I feel like by you stepping forward and saying something, you correct your energy before it has repercussions against you. You give them an opportunity to fix their own problem before it has repercussions for them. I feel more guaranteed you stepping forward early will fix your side. They just have the possibility. It's up to them, free will, all that good stuff. You know how that goes. Because I feel like they keep making the same mistakes, some of them. But you make an impression, and I feel like they might slow up, and they might, soundboard with, if you want to, is that soundboard with other people? Kind of like, am I being a little bit too much? And they'll be like, well, a little bit. I feel like they'll get the hint. You're giving them an opportunity to not have the worst tower moment. It's kind of like, The tower's there. They're not going to like it. But it's kind of like, is it a 3-foot tower or a 30-foot tower? You know what I mean? If they listen to you, it's kind of like they don't really like that they have to fix this and take it down, but it's not that bad. But if they don't listen to you or they don't have the chance to, it's kind of like a 30-foot tower is much worse. The tower will happen. And I almost feel like in case it seems like I'm making it too small with the 3-foot, I'm getting like, if you started to build a brick building and you have 3 feet of this brick building built, it's still a pain in the ass to move it. And it's not something somebody wants to do. But it's better than waiting till it's 30 feet and it falling over anyway. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I get the pentacle. We already talked about the pentacles, didn't we? Maybe not. This person, I feel like when you stand up for yourself, they might kind of back off or ostracize you for a moment. Not in a negative way, but I feel like this goes to your benefit. If they just won't talk to you for a couple days, that's fine. Roll with it. Take care of what you need to take care of. Get your stuff under your control. I don't feel like it having a long-lasting negative situation. I feel like it's short. I feel like if they're not talking to you is because they're kind of like thinking it over and they're maybe checking with other people. Hey, is that Sagittarius right? Am I pushing my luck? Am I pushing people? Am I too overbearing? And I feel like people are just kind of be like, well, define overbearing. Kind of like they want to say, yeah, you are being overbearing, but they're kind of nervous about telling this person that, but they'll get the hint. So it may take them a few days to really sink in with it, but the possibility is here. When I see the star card, they don't like it. But like I feel this energy is coming in, like other people are telling them, they're getting the chance, like they're getting the chance to make this, to help this go in a better direction. But it's up to them. These cards are like, it's air and it's earth. They're not really compatible, but they have the ability. They'll hear it. It's up to them to really pay attention to it and do something with it. Sooner or later, the truth comes forward. You won't be the only one. The situation will change. That tower will fall. Something new has to come from it. The person that the tower falls on is not going to like it, but it's just like, how much of a mess do they have to clean up? The Five of Swords tells me that they're destined to have this moment where they're not going to like it. Kind of like, oh, that didn't work out. This was a fruitless win. I got people to do what I wanted, but it didn't get me the benefit or it didn't get me the outcome I wanted. It's kind of like I got what I wanted, but not the outcome that I wanted. I got people to do what I wanted, but it still failed. It's kind of like that feeling with this Five of Swords. It just feels like, yeah, I won nothing. I won the empty box. Oh, great. Yeah, that's basically what this feels like. Like, I won the gift. What's in it? Nothing. Oh. Oh. They're gonna hit that moment. That's not on you. Other people, like, I feel like sooner or later other people are gonna, like, this is gonna fail. Whatever this person's doing, it's gonna fail. It's not on you. People have to get back into their own balance. This person's gonna realize what they did was not the best idea. That moving on with the openness, I feel like we just don't want this going against you when this does finally fall apart. You know what I mean? Like, I told that story, which is not my best moment. It was almost a decade ago at this point, but still, it still lives in my brain. Like, not my best moment. Not my best moment. Turns out I'm human. Oh no. What else is here? I think we're there for Sagittarius. So I feel like the biggest piece of this, though, is kind of like, you know, say something before you've hit your limit and you just realize, oh, I said that. Because you may not think you will. And I'm just reliving it from my own experience. And then you, I know I have. I'm just saying from my own experience. Maybe you have a better way with this. But if this is really hitting, I feel like they're saying before it hits that moment, do what you got to do with it. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. same email. Thank you for watching and have a great day.